People are not confusing. You are just trained to look in the wrong direction. While you listen to words, power watches reactions. While you hope for honesty, strategy studies patterns. If you learn to read people instantly, betrayal stops shocking you, and control quietly returns to you. Let me start by breaking the illusion that keeps most people weak, hopeful, and constantly disappointed. Society trains you to believe that people say what they mean, that conversations are transparent, that words are windows into truth. This belief feels moral, warm, and human. It is also the reason people manipulate you without effort. Here is the uncomfortable reality. Words are not truth, they are strategy. People speak to manage perception, not to reveal intention. They talk to look good, to avoid conflict, to gain advantage, or to protect their image. Machiavelli warned centuries ago that men are quicker to promise than to perform, because speech costs nothing while action demands risk. Power has always understood this, only the naive ignore it. If you want to read anyone instantly, you must reverse your training. Stop prioritizing what people say and start studying what they do when words stop working. Behavior under pressure is truth. Behavior when no one is watching is truth. Behavior when there is nothing to gain is truth. Notice this pattern. Liars explain too much. Manipulators speak smoothly but delay action. Weak people talk about intentions. Strong people move silently. When someone keeps telling you who they are, it usually means they are not living it. Here is where most people fail. They listen emotionally. They want reassurance. They want consistency between words and reality, so they ignore contradiction. Strategy demands emotional distance, not cruelty, clarity. You are not here to judge people. You are here to understand them. Actionable shift. Slow your responses. Silence creates psychological pressure. When you don't immediately react, people reveal themselves. Some rush to fill the gap. Some become uncomfortable. Some try to control the frame. Each reaction is information. Observe how people treat your time. Do they respect boundaries or test them? Observe follow-through. Do actions match promises or replace them? These patterns appear quickly if you stop making excuses. Reflection moment. Think of one person who disappointed you. Now ask yourself honestly, how early did their behavior warn you, and how long did you ignore it? Say this quietly to yourself right now. I watch patterns, not speeches. People are not confusing. You are just trained to look in the wrong direction. While you listen to words, power watches reactions. While you hope for honesty, strategy studies patterns. If you learn to read people instantly, betrayal stops shocking you, and control quietly returns to you. Most people believe emotions are personal, deep, and meaningful. Society romanticizes them. It tells you to respect feelings, validate reactions, and excuse behavior because everyone is emotional sometimes. This belief sounds compassionate, but strategically, it blinds you because emotions are not secrets. They are leaks, and leaks always reveal what someone is trying to protect. Here is the strategic truth. People can control their words, posture, and stories, but they cannot fully control emotional reactions. Emotions bypass logic. They surface automatically when ego, fear, status, or desire is threatened. That is why emotions are one of the fastest ways to read someone instantly. Do not ask what emotion they are showing. Ask when it appears. Sudden anger usually signals loss of control or fear of exposure. Defensiveness points to insecurity. Over-politeness often hides calculation. Forced laughter is not joy. It is discomfort asking for permission to pass. Even excessive calm can be a mask when the stakes are high. Carl Jung understood this deeply. He believed that what triggers us emotionally reveals unresolved inner conflict. Strategically, this means when someone reacts strongly to a neutral situation, you touched a nerve they did not want touched. That nerve is valuable information. Most people misinterpret emotions because they personalize them. They think, I offended them, or they don't like me, or I must explain myself. That emotional response makes you readable and weak. Strategy removes personalization. You are not here to fix emotions. You are here to observe them. Actionable step. Introduce mild, calm resistance in conversations. Not confrontation, not aggression, just gentle disagreement or a neutral question. Then watch closely. Do they become irritated? Do they rush to justify? Do they attempt to dominate the conversation? That reaction tells you more than hours of talking ever could. Another key point: watch emotional consistency. If someone is warm when they need something and cold when they don't, that is not mood, that is strategy. If someone respects you only when others are watching, that is not character, that is performance. Visualization. Imagine emotions as pressure escaping a sealed container. The louder the escape, the more pressure inside. Reflection. Question: whose emotional reactions have you been excusing instead of decoding? Say this silently now. Emotion is information, not instruction. One of the most dangerous lies society teaches you is this: treat everyone the same and you will understand them better. It sounds noble, it sounds fair. Strategically, it is blindness. Because people do not behave the same across status levels, and that difference is where truth lives. If you want to read anyone instantly, stop listening to their values and start observing their status behavior. Watch how they treat people above them, below them, and equal to them. This triangle never lies. People who flatter upward and dismiss downward are not kind. They are transactional. People who dominate conversations with equals are insecure. People who become silent around authority but loud around weakness are afraid. Power reveals itself not through control but through comfort. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He knew that ambition does not announce itself loudly. It leaks through entitlement, impatience, and the need to be seen. Those who crave power rush to speak, interrupt, and correct. Those who possess power observe, wait, and choose their moments carefully. Most people miss these signals because they are busy performing, trying to be liked, trying to be impressive, trying to be nice. Strategy demands that you step back. Silence is not weakness. Silence is a spotlight. When you say less, others expose more. Actionable step. In your next group interaction, reduce your speech by half. Do not disappear. Simply observe. Notice who seeks validation. Notice who interrupts. Notice who controls topics. Notice who becomes uncomfortable when attention is not on them. Each behavior is a psychological fingerprint. Another critical insight: respect flows downward naturally from secure individuals and upward unnaturally from insecure ones. If someone treats service staff poorly but authority figures politely, you are not seeing mood, you are seeing hierarchy obsession. Reflection moment. Think of someone you once admired. Now ask yourself, how do they behave when they have leverage? How do they behave when they lose it? Say this quietly to yourself. Status reveals intent. Visualization. Imagine standing above the social noise, watching patterns form beneath you. Most people judge others by moments: a kind gesture, a strong apology, a dramatic explanation. Society encourages this because it feels emotional and human. Strategy rejects this approach because it is unreliable. Anyone can perform once, no one can perform alignment forever. If you want to read anyone accurately, stop focusing on intensity and start tracking consistency. Truth does not shout, it repeats. Consistency reveals character because it requires internal alignment. A person who truly values respect does not respect you only when it is convenient. A person who is honest does not need perfect conditions to tell the truth. When behavior changes based on advantage, attention, or audience, you are not seeing personality. You are seeing strategy. Machiavelli understood this well. He knew loyalty based on benefit is temporary, while loyalty based on principle is rare. That is why powerful individuals never rush trust. They let time expose intention. Here is where most people make a critical mistake. They explain away inconsistency. They say they were stressed, they didn't mean it, everyone has bad days. Strategy does not argue with excuses. It observes patterns. One contradiction is noise. Repeated contradiction is signal. Actionable step: mentally record behavior without judgment. No confrontation, no emotional reaction. Simply notice what repeats. Who shows up late consistently? Who cancels only when it benefits them? Who is supportive publicly but absent privately? These patterns form faster than you think when you stop defending people emotionally. Another key insight: consistency under low pressure matters more than performance under high pressure. Anyone can rise briefly during crisis. Very few remain reliable during ordinary days. Ordinary behavior is the truest behavior. Reflection, question: Who in your life feels unpredictable, and how long have you been calling that unpredictability complexity? Say this internally now. Patterns speak louder than apologies. Visualization. Imagine laying behaviors side by side, watching the shape form clearly. Here is a truth most people never want to hear. The more emotionally reactive you are, the easier you are to control. Society teaches you to be real, express yourself, and let people know how you feel. That advice feels freeing, but strategically, it makes you transparent. And what is transparent can be manipulated. If you want to read others, you must first reduce how readable you are yourself. Manipulative people do not read minds. They read reactions, facial changes, tone shifts, urgency, over-explaining. The moment you react, you give information away. Machiavelli warned that those who reveal their intentions too quickly lose leverage. Emotional reactions are unfiltered intention. When someone sees what upsets you, excites you, or scares you, they now know where to press. This does not mean becoming cold or silent forever. It means mastering emotional discipline. Calm is not weakness. Calm is camouflage. Calm creates ambiguity, and ambiguity creates power. Actionable step. Practice neutral responses, fewer words, slower tone, minimal explanation. When confronted, pause before responding. That pause does two things. It gives you control, and it forces the other person to reveal more. Notice how people behave when you stop reacting. Some become uncomfortable, some escalate, some retreat. Each response tells you exactly what they were relying on, your emotion. Another critical insight: people test boundaries emotionally before they cross them behaviorally. If they can make you feel guilty, rushed, or defensive, they can move you. If they cannot move your emotions, they must respect your position. Reflection moment. Think of the last time you over-explained yourself. What were you trying to protect? Your truth or your image? Visualization. Imagine your emotions as water behind a dam. You choose when to release it, not others. Say this silently now. My calm protects my power. Reading people is not about becoming suspicious or emotionally closed. It is about ending confusion. Confusion is the real enemy. When you do not understand human behavior, you hesitate. You doubt yourself. You explain away red flags. And hesitation is where manipulation enters. Society tells you to trust first and analyze later. Strategy reverses this. Observe first, understand patterns, then decide how close someone is allowed to come. This is not cynicism, this is self-respect. When you learn to read people instantly, your life becomes quieter, less emotional noise, fewer surprises, fewer disappointments. You stop chasing clarity from others because you already have it within yourself. Let's bring everything together. Words are the weakest signal. Behavior under pressure reveals intent. Emotions are leaks, not guides. Timing exposes motive. Status behavior shows who people really are. Consistency confirms character. Your calm makes you unreadable. Machiavelli wrote that the wise see what is, not what should be. Most people suffer because they live in should. They believe people should be honest, grateful, loyal, or fair. Strategy accepts reality without resentment. Acceptance is not surrender, it is positioning. Here is the final actionable step. Become selective with access. Not everyone deserves your energy, explanations, or emotions. Observation tells you who earns proximity. When you stop giving everyone the same access, your life stabilizes. Reflection question. How much of your stress comes from misreading people? And how much disappears when you stop expecting honesty and start recognizing patterns? Visualization. Imagine walking through your day grounded, aware, and unbothered. You see dynamics before they unfold. You feel nothing rush you. You decide calmly. Say this out loud now. I see clearly, and I move accordingly. If this series sharpened your perception, write your affirmation in the comments. Share this with someone who keeps getting surprised by human nature. Like, subscribe, and remember this. Once you can read people, you are no longer easy to control.